Welcome to the Texas Motorplex. This is World Finals weekend for the NHRDA. Started off down in Arizona, then we moved on to Texas, Montana, and now we're finishing in the Lone Star State. And it's going to be interesting, my friend Randy Cole, because we have some very tight national point races. And, of course, if you win on Saturday afternoon, you're the world champ.
That is true. We have double points weekend, right? In every category. I mean, Sportsman, Super Diesel, Hot Rod, Semi, every category, there's literally 20, 30 points between first, second, and third.
So it is going to be interesting. We're going to get things started here this evening. We've got 3 rounds of qualifying here on Friday night. Give everybody a shot at the racetrack, get themselves prepped and ready, and in the mindset to be a world champion.
That is true. And again, world champions on your focus, right? I want to be the world champion. But the back of your mind, I want to be a world champion and a national champion. So Robbie Bowermaster, Robin Ridgway, Wayne Talking, there's a handful of them out there. They want to be world champion first, but they also want to go home with that national championship.
So as we get into this evening's event, we've got 3 rounds of qualifying. Then we start all over in the morning time as we get underway with that national points chase as well as the world championships. And if I had to be a betting man, I would be a betting man on the side of the Sportsman class and the Super Diesel class being very, very tight when we get around 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
I agree. It's really going to be interesting to see what happens in qualifying. Number 1 qualifier right now gets that extra 10 points, right? So there's several things. Number 1 qualifier and national records. So people are trying to do both, right? Be the number 1 qualifier and then go set a national record. You just picked up 20 points without even winning.
So as we get into this evening, at this time, we'd like everybody to please rise, remove your hats, and join us for the playing of the one and only national anthem in America.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And it's time. There's no more John. There's no more who, what, when, where. It is now. It is opportunity. National world champion starts here.
Time to put up or shut up. This is it. The NHRDA World Finals. After hearing the national anthem, though, I just want to, this is the year, guys, right? We got to get out and vote. I don't care who you're voting for, you better vote. Hoping you're voting for the same person I am, but you got to get out and vote because this country needs to have change in it. So, national anthem, this is where we're at, the greatest country in the world.
In the greatest nation in the world, we're in the greatest state. So, Texas Motorplex, let's go racing.
All right, one last call. Sportsman to 1 and 2, Big Rig Bracket to the short shoot, Super Diesel 3 and 4, 670 lane 5, Super Street lane 6, Hot Rod Semi 7 and 8, Pro Street 9, Pro Mod Top Diesel lane 10. Again, this is first round of qualifying. Do not come back to the lanes until I call you for second round.
As we look to load up the very first pair for the qualifying, session 1 of the 3 this evening. A-Star Diesel Performance. Maximize your truck's performance and power with the pros at A-Star Diesel Performance. Family owned and operated for over a decade. Offering expert service at the right price. Schedule your next appointment for diesel engine upgrades, new transmissions or repairs, and all general maintenance. Accessorize your vehicle from grill guards, bumpers, light bars, and more. A-Star Diesel Performance has you covered. Check out the A-Star Diesel difference in the high-quality, reliable repairs you trust at astardiesel.com. Abilene Diesel Performance started in 2011, wanting to make a difference in the big country. They are veteran-owned and operated, and there at ADP, they strive to be the best in the big country at servicing your everyday diesel need. Whether it be for repair or performance, give them a call or come by and see them at Abilene Diesel Performance. Darkside Diesel is your common specialist. Whether you're looking to get a built transmission, custom tuning, or performance engine upgrades, you can do it all. Follow them on Instagram at Darkside Diesel to check out the latest builds or the shop on their new website at darkside-diesel.com. Our left lane sponsor this weekend, Smedding Diesel. Smedding Diesel prides itself on producing high-quality turbochargers at an affordable price. Smedding Diesel, tired of fighting turbo and actuator issues? It's time for a permanent solution with a problematic factory VGT. You can do that at Smedding Diesel. Val Air is the leader in diesel performance clutches and flex plates, backed by the best warranty in the business. Built right here in Texas by Texans since 1998. They have you covered. Visit Val Air Inc. booth today to see what they can do for you when reliability matters. Val Air. And the Texas State Technical College is proud to sponsor the National Hot Rod Diesel Association and support the next generation of automotive and diesel pros. They offer specialized programs focusing on diesel equipment, automotive, and auto collision that can transform your enthusiasm for mechanics into a rewarding career. Whether you aspire to build, repair, or innovate, TSTC provides the education and experience to turn your hobby into a lifelong passion. Visit their booth today to discover how TSTC can help you shift gears from enthusiast to expert. Texas State Technical College, technically better. Sportsman. They should have you in lanes 1 and 2. Big rig bracket in the short shoot. Super Diesel class, lanes 3 and 4, the 670 index at 5, Super Street 6, Hot Rod Semi 7 and 8, Pro Street 9, Pro Mag, Top Diesel in 10. And remember the radio station here at the Texas Motorplex on your FM dial at 88.7 to keep abreast of all of the information coming out of the control tower. Again, that is 88.7 on your FM dial. Sportsman 1 and 2, Big Rig Bracket Short Shoot, Super Diesel 3 and 4. We should be loaded up and ready to go. Time to play on Friday. Qualifying sessions to try to get themselves those additional bonus points by being the #1 qualifier in all those hotly contested classes. We'll give you a rundown and a breakdown here momentarily about the points as we chase national points title and a world championship tomorrow. My name is Scott Heaton with Road Noise Entertainment, proud to be part of the National Hot Rod Diesel Association and the crew at NHRDA, and especially because we are broadcasting live across the world on Diesel TV. Sportsman class this weekend sponsored by Driven Diesel Performance. It is the ARP Super Diesel class, Ford Motor Company. The Blue Oval Bunch sponsoring our 670 index class. Summit Racing for Super Street. Dynamite Diesel is a Pro Street class sponsor. Our Semi Show and Shine brought to us by 10-4 Magazine, and the dyno is on property courtesy of Abilene Diesel. Our Pro Mod class is sponsored by PPE, one of the national event sponsors of the Chase for the Championship in 2024 that culminates here at the Texas Motorplex. Started way back in the first quarter, and now as we get towards the end of the year, we are putting together the prior rounds into one jam-packed Friday and Saturday for the World Championship and National Points titles. Remember, you can chase all of this on dieseltv.com. Tell your family, tell your friends, let your neighbors know the quality family entertainment of the diesel drag racing is happening at the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series. And I see movement here underneath the tower at the Texas Motorplex. Staff is saying, roll them, bring them, come on, let's get into it. Time to go down the racetrack and have a little bit of fun on Friday night. No better place to be than right here, right now, taking in the sights, the sounds, energy, and excitement that is the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series from the NHRDA. And also, you do want to make sure that you're seeing the folks at Hot Shot Secret, find out about all of the fantastic products because they are powered by science. Robin Ridgway rolls into our left lane, sponsored by Smedding Diesel, all the way from Lafayette, Indiana, currently sitting number 3 in points here in the Driven Diesel Performance Sportsman class. Staging up in the right-hand side of the racetrack, sponsored by Hot Shot Secret, powered by Science, is Lucas Fry from right here in Magnolia. One of the things we're going to be talking about, especially in this and the Super Diesel category, is going to be consistency. And right now, Robin Ridgway is leading things out just as she always does, with a fantastic reaction time, and then runs through the 8th mile. In a 10.28 seconds. So keep an eye on and a remembering of those numbers, 036 at 10 for Robin Ridgway. This is our Sportsman Diesel category, sponsored by Driven Diesel Performance. the first of the 3 qualifying sessions, getting everybody down through this initial qualifier for the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series. Kyle and crew are currently set up right by the NHRDA booth, giving away some free product while supplies last. I encourage you to stop by and find out what they can do to make a difference for you. Lane Wright is rolling up into the right-hand side of the racetrack. He is the current point leader after the prior 3 rounds on the chase for the championship in 2024. Just trying to maintain and hold on to that point lead as they get through the qualifying, try to get those bonus points for being the number 1 qualifier. And then obviously tomorrow you got to move rounds. You go early, and that is going to open the door for Robin Ridgway. She is the defending national points and world champion from a year ago. She hasn't made all of the trekking that she has made this year just to come up as a bridesmaid, as a runner-up. Obviously, Lane Wright would love to be in the winner's circle when we get to the conclusion of Saturday in the Eliminators. He, too, is going to be very, very consistent, one to watch as we roll through these qualifying rounds. Reaction time, see how consistent he can stay with that number. Typically in this Sportsman class, don't see a whole lot of gamesmanshiping with trying to run out the back door or entice your competitor to break out of the number that they do dial in when we get those eliminator rounds. See a little bit more of that in the Super Diesel class than we do in the Sportsman. Super Diesel this year is sponsored by ARP. Top side of the racetrack. So the Dodges roll out. Do like the looks of this very smart right-hand side, which is sponsored by Hot Shot Secret. One of those first-gen Dodges with that turn-up pipe. That's going to make a big difference, especially when we get into those eliminator rounds. You fog out those start beams. And that kind of relies to come back on you, as the rules do say you need to be turned up or turned away. Can't be pointing her right down where she blacks things out. And, of course, we got a work construction vehicle sitting in the left lane, sponsored by Smeding Diesel. When you're hauling a diesel tank around, that means you probably got dirt under your fingernails and you do something for a living, which is we need more of in America. Don't need handouts, just need calloused hands. Truck 8107, the Hot Shot Secret Lane, laying down a very good pass to start things off. That's going to be a confidence builder as they get around and get those ET slips. Both drivers are going to make the realization that, hey, I got to do a little better on my reaction time. Right now I'm snoozing, and in this class, you snooze, you lose. It is definitely going to come down to the consistency game in the Driven Diesel Performance Sportsman class. Currently sitting atop the National Point Chase leaderboard in the Driven Diesel Performance Sportsman class is Lane Wright. He has 210 points accrued. Robbie Bowermaster at 180, 30 back. Robin Ridgway at 140. So it is going to be a long stretch, a hard stretch for Robin Ridgway to be back-to-back National Point champion, but you can never rule her and Tony out. Tony is the name of the 7.3 diesel Ford that she's got. That blue oval ride is trying to be one of the few that have been able to go back-to-back in this class over the years. Rick Fenwick, old Ricky Bobby, he's in the hunt in the top 5 along with Chase Nelson for the Driven Diesel Performance Sportsman class. Driven Diesel is best known for being the industry leader in 7.3 and 6.0 liter Power Stroke fuel systems. Did you know they also make killer transmission cooler kits for the 11 through 19 6.7 Power Stroke trucks? Or that the Duramax power steering line kits are offered by the top names in Duramax Performance? Never interested in the same product, different brand game, Driven Diesel has remained focused on opportunities to solve modern diesel problems with new and unique products. Ask your favorite diesel shop for Driven Diesel or visit drivendiesel.com for a list of their top dealers. James Holbert and Brandon Greer getting an opportunity to roll out onto the racetrack. Obviously, these are big rigs that are participating in the Sportsman class. Nacogdoches is home for the right lane. The hotshot secret side of the racetrack for Brandon Greer. James Holbert from Maubang. 95 Western Star. Those guys have completely smoked things out here from the control tower at the Texas Motorplex. Absolutely any guess from directly behind in the water box of who was able to do what at the top side of the racetrack. You see Brandon Greer did have the better of the two reaction times. It's not very easy to get a big rig off of the line as consistently and smoothly as some of these guys are able to do. And I see Rick Fenwick, that is old Ricky Bobby Puddin, he's known. He's currently number 3 in the points chase in this class, sponsored by Driven Diesel Performance. And for some reason, Puddin is out of the truck in the 97 Pete Model 379, had the fuel cap off of the left tank. Not sure if he is leaking, probably maybe overfilled it, a little bit hot, caused a little expansion, but you'd think there'd be a gasket for that. They are wiping things down for Rick Fenwick out of cut and shoot. He is a fantastic social media follow. I encourage you to do so. Just hopefully you're not thin-skinned. Takes a tough guy to be able to follow along with Rick Fenwick on the interweb as he's loading up the Model 379. He has had success at the NHRDA over the years as we roll into Friday night qualifying and, of course, Saturday, a little bit of qualifying in the morning time. By noon, we should be into our eliminators. And it looks like things have smoothed out as far as anything that was leaking, dripping, or coming out of that fuel cell on the left-hand side of the 379. So Rick Fenwick, hopefully we'll get the thumbs up. Looks like they were doing something out of the Hotshot Secret right-hand side of the racetrack. Hotshot Secret powered by Science. Kyle and the crew have got immeasurable amount of great brains behind their products. Making sure, it looks like the way he's scuffing his feet across the racetrack here in the Hotshot Secret right lane. They're just trying to make sure nothing came down. Typically, out of those big rigs, you don't get a lot of leakers. I do have a reminder for all of our sportsmen and Super Diesel. If it's your everyday driver, if this is the ride that you work with, if this is the ride that's your everyday door slammer, do make sure that you've cleaned all of the debris out of the back. Don't want any Copenhagen cans, beer cans, food wrappers blowing out onto the racetrack, disturbing things, causing things, delays. Or if it is an actual true work truck where you are off highway, make sure that you've banged out all the residual dust and the dirt and the mud clods. And we're getting a little bit of diesel TV time right down here in the staging lanes for Rick Fenwick. As you can see the track crew from Texas Motorplex discussing things with Rick Fenwick and that Peterbilt, making sure that everything is good to go so he can get up for his qualifying pass. This is a work truck. He most likely hooked the load to get to Dallas, offloaded the thing, came to the racetrack. Once he's done on Saturday, he's probably got a load to hook and go somewhere else in the world because truckers make America work, make America tick. Without them, what would we be? It would be bare shelves across the nation. We've already got a little bit of that. We don't need more. Got to keep those truckers rolling up and down the road. And it's guys like Ricky Fenwick, Old Puddin, who make the difference in everyday lives. ARP Automotive Racing Products, the world's leader in fastener technology. ARP is used by top engine builders and trusted in all areas of motorsports. And ARP will be sponsoring our Super Diesel category. As Fenwick got things dried up, cleaned up, mopped up on board the Peterbilt, now roll up on the line to get his very first qualifying pass. Remember, we are doing three hits on the track tonight in qualifying. And then we'll get back at it in the morning with a few more qualifiers before we get into the elimination rounds. 2 go down, only 1 comes back until we have determined a national point and world champion. Boiling things up for old Ricky Bobby. Cut and shoot guy. Not too bad of the reaction time. You're sitting up inside of Peterbilt to come off the line in about a half a second. Not too bad, but I have seen him get down into the tenths of seconds. And he was able to power through at 79 mile an hour.
I thought these guys went the full quarter. That was 8th on my screen.
This is Sportsman qualifying. I saw a sheet earlier. There was 20-some in the Sportsman class. Maybe it was 18. Maybe it was 18. I'll have to see if I can grab that up real quick. I do remember thinking that round number 1 would be odd when they came back around for that first round of elimination, from the first round of elimination tomorrow. If you're joining us on Diesel TV, I'd like to welcome you to the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series, part of the NHRDA Chase for the Championship in 2024. And again, even after they did all of that fiddle-diddling around with Puddin's ride here on the start line, we do have a couple of guys out there walking that right-hand side, sponsored by Hot Shot Secret. There's the legend, old Wayne Talkington. The legend is ready to go. As I was looking through the points lead a little while ago, he was sitting pretty. See if I can grab that paperwork. The big rig bracket. Fenwick is leading that. Caleb Eilers is in it. So I do not see Wayne Talkington's name in the top 5. Ah, there he is, top 4 in Hot Rod Semi. He's not too far out. He's got a chance. Things would have to go very, very wrong for Smoking Gun Gord Cooper and the Beast and Mario Manetti for talking to be able to walk his way into a national or a national championship. Can't rule anything out of the world championship. That is absolutely up for grabs 100%. But that national point chase will get interesting in 3, maybe 4 classes here this weekend to determine who is that national point champion. And we will be having an awards banquet following the elimination rounds on Saturday, and crowning of champions. We'll be handing out awards and plaques, giving recognition to those who've chased the championship in 2024 right after the conclusion of the Worlds tomorrow. Big rig bracket. As we went down through the very first of our Sportsman class, now we have moved on to the big rig bracket. We are going to change gears a little bit here. We are racing 8th mile and everything but hot rod semi in the big rig bracket. They will be running the entire 1320 of fun. Caleb Eilers, who is in the running in big rig bracket, he's currently sitting number 3 in points. Looks like he's only 60 back of Rick Fenwick. And Eddie Erickson is currently sitting at the number 80. Gary Rios from Hastings, Minnesota. When you talk about drag racing in Texas, the last thing I really thought and crossed my mind was that I would have someone from Minnesota drag racing here on Friday night. But he's probably just like Rick Fenwick, knew about the Worlds. All he had to do was hook a load from up there or down here, either or, make his way in the Freightliner down to play at the Texas Motorplex. Caleb Eilers not too bad. And again, when you can get one of those big rigs off of the line around 4/10 and under, you've done a magic job. He was able to go 4/10 on that reaction time. Obviously, it's something they will want to work on. Brandon Greer, Ron Clifton. Haven't seen Clifton's name this year. Nice to see Ron make his way out to do a little bit of racing. Here at the end of the chase for the championship, Pete 379 will be loading to that hot shot secret right lane. Brandon Greer from Nacogdoches, one of those towns that I thought that name was made up. When my dad used to say things like, knock you clear into Nacogdoches, I always thought that was just one of his words. And I watched a John Wayne movie and went, hey, is that really a place? Then I started traveling and I actually went to Nacogdoches. It's real. Nacogdoches home for Brandon Greer, who is meticulously making his way to the Smedding Diesel left lane. Hot Shot Secret is filled up by Ron Sutton from Strutford, Oklahoma. And I know that Oklahoma is a 4-letter word in the state of Texas. There can't be another state that they look down their nose at as much as they do Oklahoma. Well, maybe that just comes to the pigskin. Maybe that's just in football when you talk Oklahoma and Texas. Probably right now Texas is hating on most of America as we try to figure out what we are. So Brandon Greer, Ron Clifton getting their sessions underway. Rick Fenwick, the rough and ready, out of cut and shoot, just blew down in Sportsman immediately, hot lapped it back around to make his pass here in the big rig bracket class. Brandon Greer seems like he's on his A game, hammering through the gearbox. Little bit of a bobble out there at about 1,000 feet, and then the black smoke started pouring again. Went 16:06 with a 6. Admirable in the big rig class. Ron Clifton threw it a 24-second pass. He did achieve 81 miles an hour, but you can see that he was a little slow there in the first 330 feet, slow to getting through the gearbox and into a little bit of momentum to carry through 8th mile in the top end of the racetrack. James Holbert. Holbert's 95 Western Star, and that is Rick Fenwick from Cut and Shoot. In the 97, Pete running back up into the Hot Shot Secret right lane. Love the artwork on the back of the gunslinger for James Holbert. Ma Bank is home for that 95 Western Star. Fenwick's serious. Boiling right up on it. He was trying for an O-light. Went .1 red, did Rick Fenwick. Old Putin. A little bit too tight as he's trying to dial it in. He'll be opportunity here. He would get 6 qualifying sessions due to the fact that he is double classing. So that should give him a great opportunity not only to work on getting through the gears, but getting off the start line. A lot of races could be won and lost. I shouldn't say could. I say will be won and lost on the start stripe here tomorrow. We are running 8th mile in all classes besides Big Rig Bracket and the Hot Rod Semi. Everybody else running an 8th mile here at the much historied and very fast Texas Motorplex. Travis Hines is now going to be loading up as we roll into our Super Diesel class. Super Diesel sponsored by AARP. So we have gotten down through the big rig brackets. Now moving on to Super Diesel, the other of those heavy hitter classes that we've got. It's going to be Sportsman. It's going to be Super Diesel tomorrow that really, really make things tight for those points championships and overall world championship. 2005 Dodge Ram, the 3/4 ton of Travis Hines from Bryan, Texas. Running with his buddy from Bryan, Terry Trent, in the 2016 3/4 ton Dodge. Single stack out the back for Terry Trent. Running the turnip pipe for Hines in his Mopar. Remember, this is a 770 class, meaning in the index class, that is the number to beat. You don't want to go under, as did both drivers. So both guys looking to be perfect, and they were awfully close for Travis Hines and his Dodge. Went 7 with a 6.06. Remember, 770, anything below, going to be red foul and not what they want to see when we get to the eliminators. Throw all of those out you want in qualifying, but you still need to be able to get some good incrementals, get some good telemetry off of your ET slip. Larry Knapp from Sealy and Gavin Hoke from Springfield, Missouri. The Missourian in the 92 Dodge W250, playing with the 2006 Semper Fi Dodge of Larry Knapp. Both guys with the turnip pipes. Semper Fi is the first in, the first to go. Almost as if Gavin was a little bit asleep since he was the first to stage in. He lit his beams. Got distracted by nearly a full second on his reaction time. Went 7.786 though for Gavin. Very respectable. Something to look at on that ET slip as he gets into his next round of qualifying. Still have to do better on the start, but hold that number towards his 7 seconds, 770. Dakota Baker from Granbury, Texas. He's going to load up that Ram 3/4 ton. Pulls hard from the 330 through the 660, but it was between the 100-foot mark and the 330 that thing lagged and gagged quite a little bit, but it pulled hard at the top in the middle to get it through the stripe too quick, 7.59 seconds. So Dakota, he'll take a look at his ET slip and go, that wasn't good on the start, that wasn't good on the finish, got to do better next time. Lane Wright, Robbie Bowermaster. The two dudes that are running up front in a couple of classes this year. Super Diesel, Robbie Bowermaster, who is currently in the Hot Shot Secret right lane, that 2007 3/4 ton GMC. He is leading the points in this class by 10. However, in Sportsman, that's where Lane Wright is leading Robbie by 30. So these two matched up to go side by side and qualify. We'll most likely see these guys at some point on Saturday, barring any kind of mental or mechanical failure. These guys should move rounds on Saturday. Remember the 770 dial, and look at that. Both guys dead even off the start. Both guys just about dead even at the stripe. 7.73 for Lane Wright, 7.77 for Robbie Bowermaster. So both of those guys are looking like they are on their A game here in the ARP Super Diesel class. Russell Caraway from Pleasanton, Texas. How could you not be happy living in a place called Pleasanton? That's a 1986 Dodge D150 with the turnip pipe staging up over in the Smedding Diesel left side. Great to have Smedding Diesel be a part of the chase for the championship in 2024. Reaction time was exactly what he wanted it to be. He wasn't really worried about reaction time. He was more worried about getting the good launch and a good number posted here in the 770 class, went 8.142. So Bowermaster and Lane Wright, those guys are looking like they are absolutely set on kill for this weekend's event. Mike Carrasco from Carlsbad, New Mexico, and Dustin Minturn. Minturn from Leland, North Carolina, in a 2000 Chevy. Hot Shot Secret Right, Mike Carrasco. 2018 3/4 ton Chevy in the Smedding Diesel left side of the racetrack as they open up their World Championship chase at the Texas Motorplex for the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series. Both guys consistent off the start. 773 for Carrasco, 775 for Minturn. They're on their games as well. Could shake out to be a fascinating class as we get to those eliminator rounds tomorrow at noon-ish. 3 rounds of qualifying tonight, and there is A no prep top end drag race happening here tonight. Once we are done with our 3 rounds of qualifying, that crew will be taking over the track and have a little bit of fun on Friday. Any of our NHRDA participants are more than welcome to participate in that no prep top end drag race later on tonight. They will have their drivers meeting here at the base of the tower at 9 p.m. I think they're scheduled to go racing by 10. And then, of course, we're back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Competitor and spectator gates opening at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Drag racing, mandatory meeting at 9:45, and trying to get into the first qualifier at 10. The final round of qualifying happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. So 3 of them tonight, 1 of them tomorrow, and we get right into the eliminators. Carrasco went 090 start, 770 with a 5. That is the best package I've seen so far in that 770 index class known as Super Diesel, sponsored by ARP. Good on you, Carrasco. Another one of the Carrascos coming out. This is Mike in the 2015 GMC Denali. Week off of the start, finally out there at 100 feet, decided roll it. 8.616 on the 770. So that's got some work cut out for that 2015 Denali. So that concluded the qualifying session for the ARP Super Diesel class. Now move into the Ford Motor Company 670 index class. Start going a little faster now. Chris Perales from Floresville and Dusty Brown. Haven't seen Dusty Brown in a while from Kennedy, Texas. The old work truck, the flatbed. He could be a spoiler for a lot of those in the 670 class that chase the series. He could come in and win a world. 051 start for Dusty Brown, and then went just a touch too quick by 9/100ths. 6.61 for Dusty. Chris Perales, he is another name. He is a hitter in this class. 6.946 in the 670. Cody Moss, Matthew Parker, left to right respectively. Never did clean up for Cody. That thing just kind of boiled a bunch of fossil fuel to an 899, well off the pace, where Matthew Parker from Bryan, Texas, posted 6.751. So he's going to be happy. Not so much on the reaction time. The start line end, top end, yeah. Joshua Grauman, Pasadena is home for the 2004 3/4 ton. Weston Birchfield from Pleasanton, his 96. Mopar, single stack coming up out of the hood for Grauman. Turn up back to Birchfield. Joshua Grauman, he's going to be happy too with the very first initial hit on the racetrack. Crack staff of the Texas Motorplex did a tremendous job of prepping things, getting things ready, and right now the track is proving that it's going to be a fast one this weekend. So Joshua Grauman, second best package I have seen on the day in the index, whether it be 770 or 670. Very well done for Grauman. Now Larry Stewart and Michael Carrasco. Michael, the 2013 GMC, I believe we just saw him in that 770, now moving into the 670 with Larry Stewart from Grenberg, Tennessee. That dog is trying to light things up. .670 and under just by about 8/100ths of a second that time. So that package is going to be not too horrible to look at on the ET slip with Sky Moorhead from Bryan. Single stack out of the back of the Mopar, half ton. Spooling things up. roll black, pop in, light those bottom stagers. You can see a little bit of a change in color right about there. Goes from that deep black over to the gray. Another one of those was not worried about what the reaction time was. He just wanted to spool up and get a good launch. Goes 693 with a 6 for Sky Moorhead. Super Street should be in lane number 6. Hot Rod Semi 7 and 8. Pro Street, Mod and Diesel. Streets in 9, Mod and Diesel in 10. Little bit of track prep coming up.
I'm fucking moving it down.
Just saw the universal motion from the track crew saying, come on, thumbs up, line them up. George Loman has been getting some fantastic diesel TV time as he's sitting prepped and ready to get into the Smetting diesel left lane here in our Super Street, the 590 index class for Super Street, sponsored by Summit Racing. Going into the right-hand side of the racetrack, the 1970 Chevelle. The Duramax-powered Chevelle, which is an everyday driver. They're all the way from in the top right-hand corner of the nation. They drive that thing all over to races and have been winning. Rick Flettis currently sitting atop the leaderboard in Super Street for the National Points Championship. However, it is only by 10 points over Dion Taylor. They are well clear of Blaine Lafferty and Myers Stump. So Flettis and Taylor comes down to a two-team battle for the National Points Championship. Everybody's in it when it comes to the Worlds. That Duramax is lighting things up for Flettis. Loman's 2000 Chevy pickup. You can see that that thing is intended to go fast in a straight line for all the modifications that have been done. This is the 590 Summit Racing class. Summit Racing, another one of those fantastic worldwide companies that want to be involved with the NHRDA. Summit Racing Equipment, proud sponsor of the NHRDA, is celebrating its 55th anniversary as the World Speed Shop. Speaking of the World Speed Shop, we'll see a little bit of world-class Duramaxes coming up right now in the 590. Wheel stand and Flettis and Chevelle. I think he chopped out of that thing just past the 330. Went 7.148. I thought I saw something untoward on the left rear out here just about 220 feet into that pass, right about the time that he got out of the throttle. Looked like something white dislodged from it. I'm not sure if that was just debris that was on the racetrack, or if that was actually something off of that Chevelle. So Flettis, nice start, good up to 330, and then got out of it to a 7.148. George Lohman, he was a little bit late off the start, obviously, with over a second on reaction time. Now going in is Dion Taylor. We were talking about Taylor a moment ago. He's currently sitting in the number 2 spot behind Flettis. 2006 Dodge Ram, the PBD. Poor boys diesel crew. Zachary Storms, 2002 Duramax, the GMC from New Germany, Minnesota. Pulled to the wall. So he took one to the wall for Zachary Storms. Let's take a look at Dion Taylor in this 590 class. Look at that. He's going to feel confident with a 5.923 initial hit in qualifying. And there is a drone. There is a drone in the air. We do need the drone to be grounded. The drone needs to immediately be landed. In fact, the staff here inside the tower are currently getting out that 12-gauge shotgun with a 3-inch Magnum load and ready to intercept and take it out of the sky. So again, if you're the one piloting the drone, it needs to be shut down immediately, landed ASAP. Yeah, good news, seemingly, for Zachary Storm. Track crew did go down track. There was nothing untoward left. Maybe the fire just went out for an indiscriminate reason. He is leaving under his own power, which is a good thing. The track crew didn't stop to try to clean anything, which is even a better thing. The start line guy says, come on, bring him, load him up. David Bosch from Fort McMurray, he's going to load the 98 Ram. Go Fast bottle strapped to the roll cage there in the bed with Neil Dreiger. Dreiger from Seminole will bring his ride over to the Hot Shot Secret right lane. Hot Shot Secret is powered by science. They do have free product that Kyle and the crew are giving away while supplies last. Make sure you're taking advantage of all of the super cool stuff from the title sponsor of the Chase for the Championship. It is the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series. Hot Shot Secret is powered by science. Both guys having a nice, consistent run. However, David Bosch did get a little bit out of the preferred line. He did get a little bit left. You can see from those fantastic shots here from the start line end, going down track of the world famous and ultra fast Texas Motorplex. Got a little left out of the groove. Still posted solid numbers. Colt Carter from Maubach and Blaine Laverty from Erie, Colorado. I wonder if that's anywhere near Aurora. He's in a 2001 3/4 ton. Excuse me, that is a 1-ton Dodge that is posting up in the Hot Shot Secret right side. Look at that fantastic camera shot we're going to get momentarily from the Smedding Diesel left lane. Diesel TV crew doing a tremendous job of catching the action, broadcasting it around the world. Tell your family, tell your friends, send them a text message. DieselTV.com if they want to watch the best diesels on earth perform here at the Texas Motorplex. We're currently in the Summit Racing Super Street class, the 590 index class. Neither driver got out of the sixes, both in the low sixes. But I've got a feeling in this class you're going to have to get right down nearly nut on that 590 dial. .590 is our DUN done. That means we're rolling into the hot rod semi. Hot rod semi. One of my favorite classes with some of the biggest personalities of the NHRDA. We're talking personalities like Gord Cooper and Mario Minetti, Troy Leopold, Wayne Talkington, Dave Stewart. This is going to be a fantastic run because we always have a chance when you have the world record holder in Gord Cooper, a world record holder in Mario Minetti. When you get these guys on track, just as any other competition that has a world record, you can always see it when your world record holders are performing. As we roll into the point championship, Smoking Gun Gord Cooper, the guy from Canada, he is currently the leader by 20 over Mario Minetti. He is 40 clear of Troy Leopold. He is 70 clear of Wayne Talkington and Dave Stewart. Wayne Talkington, the legend, is going to get a crack at it right now. Mario Minetti is up in the Hot Shot Secret right-hand side of the racetrack in that 88 Peterbilt Model 379. Dave Stewart bringing the full tilt Peterbilt in the Smeding Diesel left lane. It's an 83 Pete driven by Dave Stewart. Stewart currently sitting number 5 in the national point chase in the hot rod semi-class. So Mario Minetti currently owns a mile per hour world record at 120.53. Gord Cooper and Smoking Gun holds the ET at 11.403. And at the top side, both guys are over the mile per hour. Current world record is 120.53. Dave Stewart just went 122.50. Mario Minetti went 121.15. Neither one of them got down. They're both within 2/10. 2/10 of the ET record as well. In the battle of the burnouts, Oscar Velasquez coming out of L.A., Los Angeles in the 57 Kenworth. And the legend Wayne Talkington in the 1963 Kenworth 923, the Lucas Oil entry. From Kingman, Arizona is Wayne Talkington. And both of those guys were just watching the scoreboard at the top of the racetrack. They were able to see those numbers, and they are well versed in what the numbers are, so they know the racetrack is providing, but is their tune right to be able to bump up against a world record and have 2 more sessions tonight to try to back it up, which is the NHRDA you need to do within 1% of your posted number. So right now, Mario Minetti at 121.15, Dave Stewart won 122.50, but we have yet to see Smoking Gun Gord Cooper in Montana. He did a little bit of experimenting. I'll have to maybe try to catch him for an interview to find out about what those experimentations told by the end of the weekend, is he had a whole bunch of popping, a whole bunch of detonation. But he said, no worries there. He's ready for it. Oscar Velasquez, Wayne Talkington, after those tremendous burnouts. We're talking funny car style burnouts for those 2 yokels, Oscar and Wayne. You'll see the same kind of burnouts coming out of Mario Minetti as the weekend progresses, as you will also from Smoking Gun Gord Cooper. Oscar is running well in the quarter mile, as did Wayne Talkington. Oscar a little bit too eager off the start, went 084 on the wrong side of right. Wayne Talkington through at 11.789, 114 miles an hour. Remember, 11.403 is the current ET world record, and we've bumped up against it 3 passes now. 3 different drivers, Dave Stewart, Wayne Talkington, and Mario Minetti, have bumped up on the ET. Stewart and Minetti have went faster than the current world record. Speaking of world record holder, that's Gord Cooper in the Smetting Diesel left side of the racetrack. Troy Leopold from Valiant Mills, Texas. Got some wheel hop down there in the water box for his burnout in the 1970 Peterbilt Model 289. The 68 Canadian Kenworth of Gord Cooper from Rocky View Country, Alberta. He goes to the Smetting Diesel left side of the racetrack. Throw those doors open. Ventilate a little bit of the tire smoke that accumulated during that big, fat, nasty, gnarly burnout. Gord Cooper currently holds the ET world record at 11.403. We've already seen a couple passes at 11.6. I was telling you a little bit about the experimentation that Gord did at the Montana round in the Big Sky Truck Fest with Smoking Gun. So the Smoking Gun Kenworth loaded up with one of the best to ever do it, an actual veritable walking encyclopedia of everything Kenworth. The guy knows the history of Kenworth by the back of his hand, pretty much owns a historical museum of some of the coolest Kenworths ever built. So Gord Cooper trying to get into those numbers that he saw posted by Stewart and Mud Eddie when it goes a mile an hour. Gord had held that world record on both ends, ET and mile an hour, until I think maybe it's been 3 years ago, but I think it was only 2 years ago that Mario Minetti took away that mile per hour from Gord Cooper. A little bit of a hard start for Troy Leopold. Got a little bit more of that wheel hop there off the start, just like we've seen in the water box. And that's a 116 mile an hour pass for Gord Cooper at 11.645. So Gord kind of sort of bumping up against it on the ET, off on the mile per hour compared to Stewart and Minetti. Both of those guys will have another shot here later this evening in the qualifying session number 2 to try to back it up by 1% and put their name in the record book. Minetti is already there, but he could push his number up a little bit. Dave Stewart, I'm sure that he would certainly love to bump either Gord or Mario out of the history books of the NHRDA. Sportsman and Super Diesel, we need you back to the lanes, please. Sportsman and Super Diesel, we need you back to the lanes, please, for hit dos. As we get down to the pro classes, the Dynamite Diesel Pro Street, PPE Pro Mod. I don't think there's a top diesel here in the Outlaw Semi. Yeah. Dynamite Diesel Pro Street are loaded into the racetrack and ready to play. Dynamite Diesel products, known for diesel performance. They create the best performing injectors on the market using in-house technology, including electro-discharge machining, abrasive flow machining, extrude honing, and calibration of rate shape. Just went right over my head. Based on years of experience and countless competition wins, whether you want a clean driving street truck or lots of power, or an all-out high-performance competition truck, they can build injectors that will meet your needs. Check them out at dynamitediesel.com. Current series point leader in Pro Street, Philip Franklin, currently 30 points clear of John Sherrado. Todd Welsh is running out of the top three. Foster Evans, number 4, with Nathan Wheeler. As we roll the very first win in, which is going to be Philip Franklin from San Antone. He brings that white powerhouse into the Smedding Diesel lane. Opie looking to hang one for Philip Franklin. Pro Street. Mile per hour world record, 144.5. 8th mile, 5.12. Was told earlier today about a couple of different social media posts made by some of our pro class drivers anticipating and predicting lowering ET or hiring mile per hour world records Friday and Saturday. Remember, there are 3 rounds of qualifying tonight, 1 round tomorrow before we get into those eliminators. 2 go down, 1 come back until we've got a world champion at the NHRDA in all classes. So Philip Franklin boosting, bopping, popping the start. Looks good, sounds good, feels good. 5.248 at 140.88. So I would say they were on it and looking to stay on it and get better, improve through this qualifying and try to get themselves both ends solidified. So close, but no cigar on that pass for Philip Franklin to be able to run the numbers that he is wanting to see this weekend. Sportsman, you should be back in lanes 1 and 2. Big Rig Bracket, obviously, you should be in the short chute. Super Diesel needs to be in 3 and 4. 670 should be loading up in 5. Pro Modified Wade Minter's 63 split window Corvette. The wheelie bar ride removed before flight. Minter. PPE Pro Mod. In Pro Mod, the current ET world record is 4.32 seconds. It is 148.3 miles an hour at the world record level. Chase Wells holds the mile per hour. This guy holds the elapsed time. Been around him long enough to know that this guy absolutely is a competitor. Not only does he want to win, he wants his name and his name only in the record books in this Pro Mod category, sponsored by PPE. My apologies. He does own both ends right now. He did set the record in Lufkin at round number 2 of the chase for the championship this year. Got a touch squirrely as you saw him out there past the 8th mile. As he got towards 1,000 foot, he started to creep left with a little bit of wiggle to his walk for Mentor. 4.411 at 174 mile an hour. All right, so he's just able to scroll through the yield interweb, and find out the pro modified current world record for mile per hour. I misspoke earlier, looking at the wrong sheet of paper with Chase Wells holding at 148. It is now Wade Minter at 162.28 mile per hour is the current standing world record that was done back in May in Lufkin. And he just went 174.07. So we could see some dramatic change there. The guy that owns both ends of the world record. Take a look at that at 4.411 just to make sure. And it's showing us that the Pro Mod 8th mile is Minter, done here last year at a 4.32. So that 4.32, he bumped up against it here to 4.41. Very interesting for Minter. We could see possibility of the guy that owns both ends of the world record making a change in the record books here during the World Finals weekend of the Texas Motorplex for the chase for the championship of the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series. So, Sportsman, you should be loaded up in 1 and 2 for number 2. Big rig bracket, the short shoot. Super Diesel in 3 and 4. 670 in 5. Super Street in 6. We'll get underway with hit number 2 here this evening. 3 hits of qualifying coming up. Hit number 2 coming up. Sportsman class qualifier number 2. That is our defending national and world champion Robin Ridgway from Lafayette, Indiana, and Tony, her Ford, the 7.3 liter, is currently staging the Smedding Diesel side of the racetrack. Lucas Fry from Mongolia. Remember when I was talking about consistency with Robin? Remember she went .036 in round number 1 qualifying in the reaction time? She just went 0.30 in qualifying hit number 2. Remember how I said she would be consistent on the ET at a 10.3? She just went 10.265. So that is a lady that can absolutely be consistent, which is exactly what they need to do in this particular class. Our current point leader in Sportsman is Lane Wright. Lane is going to the Smedding Diesel lane right now on the left side of the racetrack from Lubbock. Single stack out the back. Chris Blair just had a complete failure, LB3A. Nothing even went off on his side of the racetrack before he decided to go for a hit. So Lane Wright goes 8.106. I did not make any notes on his pass, but I just bet that is going to be a very consistent number for Lane Wright. You don't go to the top of the leaderboard against the hitters in that Sportsman class without being able to be uber consistent. Driven Diesel Performance Sportsman class. Robin Ridgway is currently sitting atop the leaderboard as that number 1 qualifier. She's going to need that if she wants to have a legitimate chance at that points championship. She will need to get every little bit of bonus and maybe some help from her friends in the class. As we were talking about the points a little bit earlier in this Sportsman competition, has been some of the best at the NHRDA for the last 3 years. Currently Lane Wright at 210, Robbie Bowermaster at 180, and Robin at 140. So again, being 70 point back of the series point leader, that is almost an insurmountable number. However, it is double points. A little bit of good luck on the bonus points, a little bit of bad luck for her competitors, and she could see some FaceTime on Diesel TV with her and Tony in the winner's circle on Saturday. Yule Tier from Red Oak and Greg Gonzalez from Pasadena, the next 2 to make a hit here in our Sportsman class. A 1-ton Dodge on the left, 3/4-ton Dodge on the right, getting through that 8th mile stripe. If you're just joining us here at the Motorplex or on Diesel TV in that worldwide broadcast, it is 8th mile racing for everybody except Hot Rod Semi and our big rig bracket class. And we do have some of our big rigs that are participating in the Sportsman class, sponsored by Driven Diesel Performance. Always cool to see the big rigs. When they can get consistent, they can go deep in rounds, just like everybody used to think, Tony and Robin, nice people, good truck, but nope, absolutely have become a killer on the drag strip. She's a fantastic social media follow. I encourage you to do so to keep up with all of the racings of she and Tony. As we continue on with Ryan Harmon, left before 3rd Amber. LB3A, never what you want to see on your ET slip. That means you are completely way out in left field when it comes to getting down a drag strip. Ryan Harmon down in the bayou, down in Louisiana. Single stack banging up to the hood for Ryan. Fantastic footage showing the flow of action up the racetrack on Diesel TV. It's quick. That is quick for a Sportsman. 7.695. So Robbie Bowermaster, he's going to bring his GMC to the Hot Shot Secret right side of the racetrack. Dude out of Abilene, currently sitting number 2 in points, vying for 2 class championships this year in both Sportsman and Super Diesel. If I was a betting guy, which I am not, I would lay at least $7 on Robbie Bowermaster being successful this weekend. Currently in the number 2 spot behind the rival and nemesis in Robin Ridgway. There's that consistency that we're talking about. Robbie's first pass down track, he went .12 on his reaction time. This time .10, 775 with a 9. So that is going to bode very well for Robbie as he gets through qualifying pass dos at your Texas Motorplex.
Once again, I need Super Diesel to 3 and 4, 670 to lane 5. Super Street and Hot Rod Semi, this is your first call. 670, I need you to lane 5. Super Street and Hot Rod Semi, this is your first call to the lanes.
And boost power, performance, and fuel economy. Claims proven by third-party testing and real-world results. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
PPE is proud to present our new water-to-air intercooler for the 3-liter Duramax. This high-performance intercooler is designed to be 77% less restrictive than stock with a 2.4 times larger core that reduces exhaust temps and increases fuel efficiency. Also introducing our new cast iron cylinder heads that eliminate blown head gasket issues for the 6.6-liter Duramax. Our heads come pre-installed with fully nitrodated valves made of super alloy steel and upgraded tapered springs. Visit ppepower.com to learn more.
For over 20 years, Driven Diesel has been an innovator and a market leader in the world of 7.3 and 6.0 fuel system products. We've been first to market with numerous product features and designs, and we've revised and expanded our product line to keep up with the ever-changing needs of diesel pickup owners. With our new in-house CNC capability and continued focus on U.S. production, product quality, and innovation, we are more focused than ever on developing unique solutions to modern diesel problems. Check us out at drivendiesel.com.
You work hard. So does your truck. Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories like toolboxes, headache racks, fender flares, wheels, tires, and more to get the job done right. But we know what they say about all work and no play. That's why you'll also find what you need to take your truck from workhorse to weekend warrior. Plus, you'll get unbeatable customer service, tech advice, and same-day shipping. Order now at summitracing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for your diesel engine. From main studs to rod bolts to head studs, ARP outperforms and outlasts factory hardware. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
At Dynamite Diesel Products, we specialize in providing the fueling your truck needs. From high-performance race trucks to daily drivers, we strive to provide clean and smooth horsepower. We calibrate and balance injection rate to the tightest tolerances in the industry. Dynamite Diesel constantly upgrades machining and processes based off many years of experience to provide the best product possible. At Dynamite, fueling is our passion.
Smetting Diesel. It all started with a friendly rivalry and a lathe. Today we use the latest technology to produce the best high-performance diesel turbos in the industry. We're addicted to power and reliability. Smetting Diesel is dedicated to delivering maximum performance for your diesel engine. We take pride in meticulously engineering our parts and build our products from superior materials. Specializing in diesel turbos and components, we offer custom configurations for a wide variety of applications, all proudly built in the USA. With over a decade of experience, our reputation has been built on reliability, quality, and a true obsession with producing the finest products for both performance shops and enthusiasts. Smeding Diesel, the home of high-performance diesel turbos. Visit our website at www.smedingdiesel.com.
Head to WatchPTTV.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.
Thanks to all of our sponsors of Diesel TV and the NHRDA, fantastic group of sponsors. As we roll back into round number 2 of qualifying, this is our big rig bracket class. Big rig bracket qualifying hit number 2. As we get an opportunity right now up on top of the leaderboard is Reese, Greer, Eilers, Clinton, Holbert, and Fenwick after the first qualifier. That is the order in who had the best package. Caleb Eilers is going to roll himself into the Smeding Diesel left lane. Gary Rees is already in that Hot Shot secret right lane. It's a 2006 Freightliner. Rees deeply embedded in the hot rod semi class, running here in our big rig bracket. Both those guys trying to prove a point off of the line. Both those guys trying to prove that the semis can come up that start line just like any other race ride. Reese, top side of the racetrack, having fun. Got his toes curled over against the firewall. Matt in the loud pedal at 18.905 at 71 per. Eilers 1894 with a 1 at 81 miles an hour. So those guys were mirror to mirror all the way down the racetrack. And now running kind of a figure 8 scheme. Up at the top side as they make their exit off. Rick Fenwick from Cut and Shoot. Going to roll into the Smeding Diesel left lane. The Rough and Ready, model 379. Going to go play with Ron Clifton. Didn't see a lot of the Cliftons this year. They were kind of a mainstay at most all of the big rig hits over the last several years at the NHRDA. But when you got a work truck, you keep it working. You only play when you can fit it into the work schedule. Ron Clifton, a 379 Pete of his own. So Clifton is going to roll up beside his longtime nemesis and rival in Fenwick. Both these guys going to give the one finger salute to each other as they stage up here in the second round of our qualifying of the 4 rounds this weekend, 3 tonight, 1 tomorrow. There's a little bit of that detonation that could prove costly for these guys, especially when you have a hook and haul on Sunday. Look at old Rick Fenwick banging off the start at a 159. He's going to like that. Prove the point those Petes can get up and move. 14.124 at 103 mile an hour. First to go over and get into triple digits here in the big rig bracket is Rick Fenwick, old Puddin'. Popped one at a 14.124. That is another very admirable number. And it looks like our last win will be Brandon Greer in the W900B, which is a 1999 Kenworth. You know how things happen when you're a kid and you just kind of become fans of things. Like if your dad drove a Chevrolet, then you're a big bow tie guy. Dad had a Dodge, you're a Mopar fan. Dad drove a Ford, you're all about Blue Oval. Well, it's true to life. My dad drove a Kenworth logging truck for many, many years for Ken Miller Logging. And anybody that didn't drive a Kenworth was driving something that was junk in my mind. I didn't know any better. And then I got out into the world. I said, man, there's sure a lot of Peterbilts compared to Kenworths, and all those Peterbilts sure have a lot of accessories. They sure are polished up, sure a lot of chrome. They sure look good compared to the Kenworths. So Brandon Gear just went 1542 at 87 mile an hour. So Fenwick, 14s at 103 is going to look very nice to him, knowing that he has been the fastest and the quickest so far in qualifying. Now it's just able to put together in the elimination rounds and not beat himself, which he has done in prior big meets, big events, big payoff events. Although he did end up in the winner's circle right here a year ago, well, 364 days ago now. Be 365 tomorrow, and he might have another chance at it with Dakota Baker and Larry Knapp getting ready for their chance as we have changed now into our Super Diesel 770 Index class. Super Diesel sponsored by ARP. Automotive Racing Products, the world's leader in fastener technology, brings us Super Diesel with Dakota Baker and Larry Knapp. Knapp, hot shot secret right side, Smetting Diesel with the left for Dakota Baker. Pair of Dodges. One of them, my favorite just for the sticker on the back, Semper Fi. Do not tread on me. So Knapp goes through at a 720 with a 4. This is a 770 dial. Both guys are well under. Baker went 7.382. Dakota Baker's going to like his reaction time. Larry Knapp's going to go, guts to do better. Terry Trent from Bryan brings a single stack out of the back of the Mopar. Was new on a showroom floor in 2016. Smetting Diesel left lane. Travis Hines, also from Bryan. These guys have paired up both times in qualifying, have just swapped lanes. 2005 3/4 ton Dodge of Travis Hines. Liking the run, liking the look out of Travis. So Hines, that's what I thought. 770 with a 6. Boom, diggity. 262 reaction for Travis, but that 770 with a 6 is nice. And a 7.649 under for Terry Trent. The 86 Dodge of Russell Caraway. The Smetting Diesel lane. Straight, clean. Obviously, that thing didn't come out of the Midwest because it still has rocker panels that are solid. Edgar Garcia from Fredericksburg, Texas. He brings himself into the Hot Shot Secret, powered by Science right-hand lane. Fantastic sponsorship this weekend from a plethora of good people in the industry. Hot Shot Secret, Smetting Diesel, Driven Diesel Performance, ARP, Ford Motor Company, Summit Racing, PPE, and Dynamite Diesel, 10-4 Magazine, Abilene Diesel. .670 Super Street and Hot Rod Semi. We should have you loaded in the staging lanes. 670 and 5, Super Street and 6, Hot Rod 7 and 8. Should have all y'all back in the lanes and ready for your session. 779 with a 6 for Caraway, just a touch over, slow off the start. Garcia, well off of the pace, very slow off the start. Almost a throwaway qualifying round for both of those guys. So, you know, shake that off, short memory, don't remember what you did prior. You just got to race forward. Dustin Minturn from Leland, North Carolina. 2007 Chevy 3/4 ton. He's got his canopy on the back. That's for privacy. Ryan Harmon, DeRider, Louisiana. D-Riders trying to solve the D-riddle of 770 class. Posted a 7.630. Minturn, 7.888. We're searching the internet archives right now because Dustin Minturn, we believe, was the Super Diesel champion from a year ago. So he's got some hardware and a piece of history, the NHRDA, hanging at home with Larry Stewart and Cody Moss. Moss is the leader. So Cody Moss just went down track for his qualifying hit on the 670 class, went 673 with a 9. He is the current series point leader. Well out front, 90 points out front of the number 2 spot of Will Terry. Dusty Brown, haven't seen him around, but follow him on the interweb. From Kennedy, Texas, and Chris Perales. Perales is one of those hitters that we see year in and year out, but he is going to chop the throttle up there at 100 feet, just completely backed out and now going to the wall. Ooh. So track officials will be playing chase in the Hot Shot secret right lane. Dusty Brown, again, absolutely on it. 056 start. Then went 720 on the elapsed time. So the chase crew going to go take a look at the right lane. Make sure Chris did not leave any ugliness behind, that we can continue on with qualifying. All right, so we do have a slow roller. He's still moving under his own power as the track crews went up to check on Chris Perales. So our point leader here in 670, Cody, looks like he, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say he is the leader right now. He is the leader by 90 over Will Terry. Chaz Leitner, the guy out of Phoenix, Arizona, I don't think we'll see him this week. He's currently sitting in 3rd. Alex Plummer in 4th. Matthew Parker in 5th, tied up for that number 4 spot with Plummer at 60. So as you can see, Cody Moss, he is on the verge of being able to wrap up a national championship, but that's why you race the race. You don't just look at the paper and then start handing out awards and accolades. Speaking of awards and accolades, there will be a awards banquet immediately following Championship Saturday. Hope everybody can come on over and enjoy a fine meal and applaud the success of your competitors and maybe even yourself over the course of the chase for the championship of the Hot Shot Secret Diesel Drag Racing Series. Started off down in Arizona, then moved on to Texas, up to Montana, and now finishing in Texas in 2024. They were scheduled to go up north of the border into Canada, but weather-related issues made that round impossible. 670 Super Street and Hot Rod Semi. If you're going to make your second round hit, you need to be in the lanes now. 670 Super Street and Hot Rod Semi. If you're going to make that second round hit, gots to have you, or we are moving on. Matthew Parker from Bryan, Joshua Grauman from Pasadena. Pair of Dodges. We watched Grauman not have a very good or successful hit in round number 1 of qualifying, trying to clean that up for hit number 2. Clean it up off the start, staying on the throttle all the way through the finish, and nicely done. 670 with a 2. So Joshua Grauman, short-sighted, short memory after quali 1, said, throwaway round, gonna get serious in 2, and just pinned one. Pinned him up against it as he went to the top of the leaderboard now in qualifying. Super Street, Hot Rod Semi, you should be in the lanes. Pro Street, Pro Mod, first call for you guys to come back. Pro Street, Pro Mod, first call if you want to come back. That'd be great. Michael Carrasco, the 2013 GMC 3/4 ton, the 670 class, went 666. He is 4/100ths of a second too quick on that 70 dial. Holds him at the number 8 spot on the qualifying board. So Grauman is leading this 670 qualifier for those bonus points. Moss, number 2. Parker in 3. To finish out our 670 qualifying session number 2, the United States Marine Semper Fi truck is rolling into the Hot Shot Secret right lane. So Larry Knapp is going to make the final pass from Sealy, Texas in the 2006 Semper Fi Dodge to conclude the qualifying session for the Ford Motor Company sponsored 670 class. Then we'll be going into Super Street. So Michael Carrasco just posted 107 mile an hour on a 660 in that 670 class. So he's got a little bit of work to make himself happy with his qualifying session here in the final hit coming up for that class later on. Right now, the 590 Super Street Summit Racing Super Street class. Rick Flettis has been no stranger to the winner's circle the last couple of years at the NHRDA with that wheel stand in 1970 Chevelle. The Duramax pumps a lot of power to the ground. He's got George Lohman's Duramax 2000 Chevy. Purpose-built racer over in the Hot Shot Secret right-hand side of the racetrack. This is our 590 Summit Racing class. Watch the air underneath the front tires of that Chevelle. It's a hooking track with a hard-footed, right-footed driver in Flettis. Bumping, get it! I think Flettis got out of it out there just short of 330. I think he started to say, you know what, let's just save a little something. Went 177 on the start, then 730 with a 4 at 72 mile an hour. Remember, that is something they hook a trailer to and go racing. Honest to God, that race car, they hook a trailer to it. He and the fam load and go. Dave Bosch from Fort McMurray. He is going to take the Go Fast Goodies Spritzed 98 Dodge half-ton over to our Hot Shot Secret right lane, Dion Taylor from Buckeye, Arizona. You don't chase things around the country all the way from Buckeye, Arizona to Ennis, Texas, unless you are playing for keeps. This 590 class, Dion Taylor currently sitting number 2 in points, only 10 points back of the guy that went down that lane right before him, and Rick Flettis. 592 bingo. Dion Taylor, 266 start, and then just about right target the number of 590 and a 592.0, 121 per in the 8th mile. So Dion Taylor, he has come out swinging on Friday. Zachary Storms. It's a good-looking GMC. I always like the engineering that goes into some of these guys, the amount of unwillingness they have to put in work. And for whatever reason, I've always thought that roll cage look through the tonneau cover, I don't know, just it looks cool. New Germany, Minnesota for Zachary Storms. Zach is probably absolutely sweating. He's probably got rivulets of perspiration running down because Minnesota right now is definitely cooling off as they're anticipating wintertime in the next 9 minutes. So Zachary, 587 with a 9 in this 590 dial. So he is not too far off, 21 thousandths of a second from going boom diggity. I am ready. 121 mile an hour. That seems to be a pretty consistent hitter number in his 590 class from Summit Racing. Looks like the last of our 590ers. Truck 8136, single stack out the back. Boiling up, spooling up, launching. Lost sight due to the smoke, but it sounded right, but was well off the number that he wanted, nearly a second away from that dial-in index that they will be competing in the Summit Racing Super Street class. That brings us to Yale Hot Rod Semi, the Hot Rod Semis. We got a chance to see some WRs. Dave Stewart went well over the mile per hour, as did Mario Minetti, the guy that currently holds the mile per hour world record in Hot Rod Semi. And we're going to see some big, fat, nasty, gnarly burnouts in Hot Rod Semi. Oscar Velasquez, smoking. So Oscar Velasquez is 57 Kenworth. Missed that shift out there, 200 feet. Gets through the stripe at a 7.475 and 11.582 at 118. So the 11.5, that's bumping down there against world record type numbers, 118, a little shy. Mario Minetti brings the beast to the Hot Shot Secret right side, the full tilt Peterbilt of Dave Stewart. These guys were exactly like this a round of qualifying ago. It's been about an hour and 45 minutes-ish, and they were exactly right here in those same lanes. But this time, they have an opportunity. If they can post within 1% of the number they previously ran, they will have a new world record to contend with in Hot Rod Semi. Mario went 121.15. Dave Stewart went 122.50 in the last pass. 1% of that for either guy, depending on who posts what, we would see a change in the number. Will we see a change in name? Right now, Mario Minetti does hold that, the beast. He's been around the world trying to show diesel tuners how to tune right. Does he have the tune right? And the full tilt Peterbilt trying to boogie his way into the record books. Long solid for Dave. Losing him in the smoke out of the tower. Top side racetrack, 1165, that's not there. 118.36, that's not there for Dave Stewart. And it did not go well either for Mario Minetti and the Beast on his second attempt. Both of those rather pedestrian compared to their prior runs here this evening. Could be a little bit of air density has changed. I was out there just a few minutes ago. It is hot. It is hotter than Hades. It is a blazing inferno after you've been sitting in 70-degree air conditioning all day. Troy Leopold, 1970 Pete, 289. There's that wheel hop. He has that same thing off the start as well. I'm not sure if that's suspension, air pressure, or just chassis setup. But it is costly for him, and at least it was a little while ago in that first round of qualifying. This is one of the only drag strips that we go to at the NHRDA that you're actually directly behind. Most all the others, the tower kind of sits cattywampus, whether it's off kilter right, off kilter left, to give you a little bit of a side profile. Here tonight and tomorrow, it is directly behind, looking straight down at the Christmas tree. And there's that wheel up I told you about. It's a problem for Troy Leopold. He has to be one of those guys that is a hitter in the class and try to get into the World Championship winner's circle and get some diesel TV time on Saturday. That's something they had better address, because in this class, with these drivers, you don't have room for error. As the next pair come from underneath the tower, out of the staging lanes, Arnold Hernandez, coming all the way from Tijuana, Mexico. Yeah, I'm from Idaho. It's Tijuana, Mexico. Linwood, California is on the sheet. That's what I'd put on there, too. 76 Peterbilt 358. Scratching out a burnout. Gord Cooper and Smoking Gun. Smoking Gun, Gord Cooper was experimenting with fuel when we were in Montana at what I think was called the Big Sky Truck Fest. Beautiful sunny downtown Bozeman, I believe. So as Gord Cooper brings the 68 Canadian Kenworth into the Hot Shot secret right lane, a very good rapport between Kyle Fisher, the Hot Shot secret, and Gord Cooper and Smoking Gun. You can see currently down there enjoying his evening in Texas is Kyle, the leader of the crew from Hot Shot Secret. They be powered by science. They do have product that they are giving away while supplies last. I would encourage everybody to stop by Hot Shot Secret. If you're not involved with their products, get involved with their products. Gord Cooper currently holds the world record in elapsed time at 11.403. We've had a couple of runs already tonight down in the 11.6s, but 11.4, that 2/10 just might not be achievable in this class of the hot rod semi. Boom! There's that detonation we saw in Montana. And I asked him, is that post-throttle for the motors? Nah, it's tough. It's good. I might get that detonation on most of everything else would be very serious, especially with the methanol breathers that I normally work with. Rocky View Country, Alberta is home. 5:01 start, 12:75 and 115 for Gord. Arnold Hernandez here from Tijuana. 085 start, the first O-light in a semi tonight, 13.477. A little over 100 mile an hour for Arnold Hernandez from Tijuana. Need Sportsman lane 1 and 2. Sportsman lane 1 and 2. Come on, bring it back for your last qualifying session of the night. Big rig bracket and a short shoot, of course. Super Diesel, we need you in 3 and 4. And 670, go to 5. 670, go to 5, please. We need everybody come on back. The two pro cars are not going to make their second attempt. So that leaves us clean green and ready for racing. Sportsman, bring them back. You want to run the 3-minute? Thanks so much to our sponsors of the NHRDA on Diesel TV.
PPE is proud to present our new water-to-air intercooler for the 3-liter Duramax. This high-performance intercooler is designed to be 77% less restrictive than stock with a 2.4 times larger core that reduces exhaust temps and increases fuel efficiency. Also introducing our new cast iron cylinder heads that eliminate blown head gasket issues for the 6.6-liter Duramax. Our heads come pre-installed with fully nitrodated valves made of super alloy steel and upgraded tapered springs. Visit ppepower.com to learn more.
For over 20 years, Driven Diesel has been an innovator and market leader in the world of 7.3 and 6.0 fuel system products. We've been first to market with numerous product features and designs, and we've revised and expanded our product line to keep up with the ever-changing needs of diesel pickup owners. With our new in-house CNC capability and continued focus on U.S. production, product quality, and innovation, we are more focused than ever on developing unique solutions to modern diesel problems. Check us out at drivendiesel.com.
You work hard. So does your truck. Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories like toolboxes, headache racks, fender flares, wheels, tires, and more to get the job done right. But we know what they say about all work and no play. That's why you'll also find what you need to take your truck from workhorse to weekend warrior. Plus, you'll get unbeatable customer service, tech advice, and same-day shipping. Order now at summitracing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for your diesel engine. From main studs to rod bolts to head studs, ARP outperforms and outlasts factory hardware. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
NHRDA World Finals weekend. Fantastic local, regional, and national sponsors behind Diesel TV and the NHRDA. A-Star Diesel Performance. Maximize your truck's performance and power with the pros at A-Star Diesel Performance. Family owned and operated for over a decade. Offering expert service at the right price. Schedule your next appointment for diesel engine upgrades, new transmissions or repairs, and all general maintenance. Accessorize your vehicle from grill guards, bumpers, light bars, and more. A-Star Diesel Performance has you covered. Check out the A-Star Diesel difference for the high quality, reliable repairs you can trust at astardiesel.com. Track maintenance is finishing up as we got to have everybody back to the staging lanes. Round number 3 of qualifying. Sportsman's 1 and 2, Big Rig Bracket Short Shoot. Super Diesel 3 and 4, 670 in 5, and Super Street in 6, please. Abilene Diesel Performance started in 2011, wanting to make a difference in the big country. They're veteran-owned and operated, and at ADP, they strive to be the best in big country at servicing your every diesel need, whether it be for repair or for performance. Give them a call or come by and see them at Abilene Diesel Performance. Dark Side Diesel is your common specialist. Whether you're looking to get a built transmission, custom tuning, or performance engine upgrade, they can do it all. Follow them on Instagram at Darkside Diesel to check on the latest builds or shop on their website at darkside-diesel.com. Smedding Diesel sponsoring the left lane of the drag strip for this weekend's World Finals weekend. The Smedding Diesel prides itself on producing high-quality turbochargers at affordable prices. Smedding Diesel. Val Air, the leader in diesel performance clutches and flex plates, backed by the best warranty in the biz. Built right here in Texas by Texans since 1998. They have you covered. Visit the Val Air booth today and see what they can do for you when reliability matters. Val Air. Texas State Technical College is proud to sponsor the NHRDA and to support the next generation of automotive and diesel pros. We do need every buck to the staging lanes. Sportsman, Big Rig, Super D, 670, Super Street should be in the lanes. Load them up. Texas State Technical College offers specialized programming focusing on diesel equipment, automotive, and auto collision that can transform your enthusiasm for mechanics into a rewarding career. Whether you aspire to build, repair, or innovate, TSTC provides the education and experience to turn your hobby into a lifelong profession. Visit their booth out in the Vendor Road to discover how TSTC can help you shift gears from enthusiast to expert. Texas State Technical College, technically better. Sportsman.
Thank you.
Back to the lanes, back to the track with our Sportsman class qualifying. This is number 3 and final session. Some of our big rigs are participating in 2 classes, Sportsman and Big Rig Bracket. This is Brandon Greer and Rick Fenwick. Both dudes from Texas. Both dudes looking to lay down some numbers. Remember, they're only running an 1/8 mile here in Sportsman Diesel. 9.08 in an 1/8 mile at 81 miles per for Rick Fenwick. 3:39 off the start. Both guys, admirable job of digging their way off the start line in the big rigs. If he tells me that slip tank is full and still running numbers, come on. Austin Pitts from Tennessee Colony, Texas. That's a mouthful. 97 one-ton Dodge. Ewell Tier from Red Oak. 2015 Dodge Ram with the slip tank. Double stacker from Tennessee Colony, Austin Pitts. So AP finally bumps into those bottom stage beams, lit up, 3 amber flashes and a green light go. And across the stripe, mid-track at the 8th mile. It'll be 11:52 at the Ford 61 for Pitts. Tier 10:21 at 73 per. Solidly done. And Robin Ridgway, our defending national points champion, is the #1 qualifier right now. Remember, we talked about her needing to make some points. She needs some good luck. And then she needs things to go her way instead of her competitor's way, as she is currently sitting 70 points back of Lane Wright in the points lead. Dustin Minturn, who won that Super Diesel class a year ago, is here in Sportsman qualifying solid. Currently, Minturn was #4 best out of the prior qualifying sessions. Greg Gonzalez from Pasadena, Texas. The 07 Chevy 3/4 ton. Well done on the start through the stripe. 878 with a 2 at 79 mile an hour. 072 start for Minturn. 765 with a 1 at 90 mile an hour. So that is going to hold Minturn there at the #4. Gonzalez is now the #1 qualifier. So it's based on reaction time. So currently the #1 qualifying spot is held by Gonzalez by the 017 reaction time. Robin Ridgway and Tony, they're down there in the Smetting Diesel left lane. She's currently #2 on the leaderboard. It's one of those things, those additional points that she needs to be picking up by being the #1 qualifier. Zach Gadwa from Harker Heights in the Hotshot Secret right lane. Things a little bit goofy, seem a little bit squirrely there on the exhaust coming out of the back of that truck. Not quite certain everything is running properly or optimally. And Robin just went 097 on the reaction time. She's been 030 on the prior two, then went 097. So a little bit out of sorts for her to, it's 6/100ths of a second. But when you're talking Rob Ridgway and Tony, it's usually just about number on number on number, round after round. So that will hold her at the #2 qualifying spot after Friday. She'll have one more chance tomorrow because Sportsman #1 qualifier is determined by reaction time. And she needs those points. Lucas Fry from Magnolia and Chris Blair, also from Magnolia. So Lucas Fry and Chris Blair did not improve their qualifying standings here in the third and final Sportsman class qualifier, driven diesel performance, sponsored class. As the Dodge, Russell Caraway, the 83 Dodge D150 with a turn-up pipe, puts himself in the Smetting Diesel left lane. Had some buddies I ran with in the 1980s that had those Dodges. The reason I didn't like them is it just felt fake. When you pull on the door handle to pull the door shut, you just almost had to pull that thing inside with you. The door panels were just cheesy. Ryan Harmon, he riding Louisiana. Gets it up the racetrack in the Hot Shot Secret right lane. 770 with an 8. 049 on the start. He's going to like the ET slip here for Ryan Harmon. Brings him up into the number 3 spot on the leaderboard in qualifying. Gonzalez, Ridgway, now Harmon, our top 3. As it looks like we are getting down to the last of the operators in the Sportsman class qualifying. It's going to be Lane Wright, our series point leader at this point from Lubbock. He could go away with double class national points championships, and obviously potentially could be a world champion in 2 classes. Lane Wright. Be interesting to see. Very few names over the history of the NHRDA have been able to double class that thing on a national and world championship. So Lane Wright, look at that. Blitzes it. Absolutely stomps. Reaction time of 0.27. Goes 794 with a 7 at 87 mile an hour. It's going to bump him up into the number 2 spot around Robin Ridgway on the leaderboard for the bonus points that go with being number 1 qualifier. If that indeed was the last of our Sportsman class here in the number 3 qualifier on Friday, Gonzalez will go into Saturday with a chance at the bonus points. And if Robin Ridgway and Tony unable to snag those bonus points, kind of puts things almost out of reach for that national points championship, which she is the defending, reigning national champ. If you are participating in the No Prep Top End Challenge tonight, 9 p.m. here under the tower is where they're doing their drivers meeting. That's where you get your tech cards, which is where you do everything before you go to the top end to go racing. So that happens at 9 p.m. Kayla Milers rolls the Peterbilt to the Hot Shot Secret right. Canton Harris rolls a 379 Pete to the Smedding Diesel left. Move to our big rig bracket class. Sportsman is done. Big rig bracket qualifying session 3. Last session of the night. Massive amount of wheel hop for Canton. He had to try and drive through that out there to 100 feet. Eilers had a little bit of a bounce as well, but he was able to accelerate right through it. Remember, they were running the full 1320 of fun, 1703 at 84 mile an hour for Caleb. Canton went 1799 with a 7 at 77 per. Rick Fenwick is getting ready to load up in the Smedding Diesel left lane. He is the only driver to get down in the 14s and over triple digits in this session of Big Rig Bracket qualifying this evening. Last time out, I think we went 14 and change at 103 in the Peterbilt. From cut and shoot, the rough and ready Peterbilt of Puddin. See Rick Fenwick can double down on 14-second, 100-plus mile an hour passes. Gary Reese, heavily invested in that hot rod semi-class. He hauled some hitters here and now wants to play too from Hastings, Minnesota. And Fenwick banging her through the gears. Killer reaction time for Ricky Bobby, old Puddin', 14 and change again at 103 mile an hour. So Rick Fenwick absolutely banging spot on at a 14.104 and 103.11. Those are almost identical to the numbers he ran a qualifying session ago. Good on you, Rick Fenwick. Brandon Greer from Nacogdoches and Ron Clifton from Strutford, Oklahoma. Kenworth and Peterbilt left to right respectively. Smedding Diesel to Hotshot Secret right lane. Do need to have 670 Super Street, Hot Rod Semi, all y'all. Pro Mod, Pro Street. They'll be hollering at you shortly to get yourselves up for that last session of the night since you chose to forego session number 2. Session number 3 is rapidly approaching as we're getting to the end of our big rig bracket class now with Brandon Greer and Ron Clifton. Didn't see hardly anything of Clifton at all in 2024. Very, very sweet that he's going to be in the running here for the World Championship tomorrow. Make sure that you're telling your family, tell your friends. If you can't make it to the Texas Motorplex, you can always watch at dieseltv.com. Local, regional, national sponsors making it possible for the best trucks on earth to roll into the Texas Motorplex for the World Finals weekend from the NHRDA. Greer went 15.67 at 90. Ron Clifton went 23.52 at 80. Something was not right. I think he was in the wrong gear off of the start for Ron Clifton. I know that Pete 379's got a better pass in it than that. And hopefully he can work out any kind of issues or bugses tomorrow morning in that one and done qualifying session. 10 a.m. tomorrow, the one qualifying session left. One qualifier left at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then we will be getting into our eliminator rounds. Moving now to the Super Diesel category. Super D sponsored by ARP. Robbie Bowermaster. Robbie brings his entry up into the Smedding Diesel left side of the racetrack. Robbie is the current point leader by 10 over Lane Wright. So Lane's got him by a smidgen in the Sportsman class by 30. Robbie's got Lane by 10 in the Super D ARP class. Gavin Huke in his 92 W250 with the turnip pipe, popping over into Hot Shot Secret side of the racetrack. Robbie Bowermaster is absolutely dialed in. He is focused. This is a 770 index class, just went 775 at 88 per on an 065 start. Those are going to be tremendous numbers if he can hold on to it and be that consistent through the eliminators. He has a chance. Gavin Huke, 780 on the 770 dial. Now Mike Carrasco and Edgar Garcia, the next two here, the Super Diesel class, 2018 3/4 ton Chevy of Carrasco comes from Carlsbad, New Mexico. Fredericksburg is home for Edgar Garcia here in the Lone Star. Single stack coming up out of the hood. Oh, 11 for Edgar Garcia. On a reaction time, that most likely. Now Carrasco was still holding on to that spot. Jay Carrasco with a double O on his reaction time. Remember, these are how the bonus points are paid out. Jace Carrasco from Carlsbad. I believe he is the one that is currently sitting in that number one spot for the qualifier. Russell Caraway from Pleasanton. How could you be uptight when you live in a town called Pleasanton? 86 Dodge D150. Double classing. Like that throaty sound that Caraway's D150 put out. 774 with a 70442 on the start. 89 per, all those numbers up on the scoreboard. Jace Carrasco, 0.125 on his reaction time. Still very, very consistent for Carrasco. Now Mike Carrasco brings his Denali, the Smedding Diesel right lane. Ryan Harmon from DeRider with the single stack out of DeHood. Terry Trent from Bryan, Granbury, Texas for Dakota Baker, right to left. Bumping, smoking. Just about dead even on the reaction time. Just about dead even at the stripe. Those guys looked at one another the entire 660 feet. Separated by a blink was Baker and Trent.
Hot Shot's secret is founded on the principle that fixing engine problems and improving our customers' lives are our top priorities. Hot Shot's secret products are designed to clean and protect your engine and ensure that it still is in top shape. From oil and fuel additives to engine oil and transmission fluid, Hot Shot's secret has the formula that will improve your engine's efficiency and performance. We create products with highly concentrated formulas that are much more impactful than the diluted bottled products commonly found on retail shelves. When we say our products work, we mean it, and we have the backup to prove it. All our products are fully formulated, meaning we do not add fillers just to sell a product and are subjected to rigorous third-party testing, after which we publish the results. We want you to have the confidence that every Hot Shot secret product you buy has been scientifically proven to be the best of the best. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
At Dynamite Diesel Products, we specialize in providing the fueling your truck needs. From high-performance race trucks to daily drivers, we strive to provide clean and smooth horsepower. We calibrate and balance injection rate to the tightest tolerances in the industry. Dynamite Diesel constantly upgrades machining and processes based off many years of experience to provide the best product possible. At Dynamite, fueling is our passion.
Smedding Diesel. It all started with a friendly rivalry and a lathe. Today we use the latest technology to produce the best high-performance diesel turbos in the industry. We're addicted to power and reliability. Smedding Diesel is dedicated to delivering maximum performance for your diesel engine. We take pride in meticulously engineering our parts and build our products from superior materials. Specializing in diesel turbos and components, we offer custom configurations for a wide variety of applications, all proudly built in the USA. With over a decade of experience, our reputation has been built on reliability, quality, and a true obsession with producing the finest products for both performance shops and enthusiasts. Smeding Diesel, the home of high-performance diesel turbos. Visit our website at www.smedingdiesel.com.
Getting our last qualifying hits up on the racetrack. We will be going into our 670, sponsored by Ford Motor Company, Summit Racing Super Street, Hot Rod Semi, the Dynamite Diesel Pro Street, and the PPE Pro Mods to conclude the last qualifying session of the night. Competitor and spectator camping gates open at 8 a.m. tomorrow. General spectator gates at 9. Tech opens at 9 at the rear of the staging lanes. 9:45 a.m. mandatory drivers meeting. Yes, you just had one, but you'll have one again tomorrow at the NHRDA trailer. 9:45. Be prompt, please. Make sure that you've taken care of all of your clerical stuff, filled it out in its entirety, and sign it. 10 a.m. final drag racing qualifying session before we go to our eliminators. We should be into the eliminators by noon. Even if we're done a little bit before that, it'll give us a chance to make sure our sponsors of the NHRDA and Diesel TV know how much we appreciate them and what kind of great products you guys can get involved with by the sponsors of the NHRDA, and set the brackets for that for that noon eliminator. 2 go down, 1 come back until we have crowned champions both nationally and world at the NHRDA. Race control is saying, attention in the pits, it is last call. Everybody that wants qualifying session number 3 in Super Street, Hot Rod Semi, Pro Street, and Pro Mod, we need you back to the lanes. 670, Super Street, Hot Rod Semi, Pro Street, Pro Mod, we need all y'all back in the lanes. Last call. Weston Birchfield and Larry Knapp going to be the first to load in here in their 670 class, sponsored by Ford Motor Company. #1 selling truck in America for the last 762,309 years is the Ford F-150. As the Semper Fi Marine Larry Knapp goes into the Hot Shot Secret Right lane, 96 Dodger of Weston Birchfield from Pleasanton rolls into the Smetting Diesel left. Remember, this dial-in is a 670, and Weston Birchfield, he's going to be happy with his ET slip. He's on it. Larry Knapp, not. When you're trying to find a half second in the last qualifying session tomorrow, oof, oof. So Dusty Brown is loaded up. Larry Brown was a mainstay and a staple of the NHRDA many, many years in a row. Haven't seen much of him recently, but it's great to see Dusty in the seat of the farm truck, the old flatbed, looking to rock, rattle, and roll and make some waves here at the NHRDA World Finals weekend. Michael Carrasco, 2013 3/4-ton Jimmy. It's a weird spot for the exhaust. I don't think I've ever seen one come out of the quarter panel quite like that. Imagine how annoying that would be sitting at a stoplight next to that guy. So Carrasco on a 670 went 693. Dusty went 714 and 3. Neither one of those are going to improve their status on that current qualifying leaderboard. Joshua Grumman, who is currently atop that leaderboard, has went to the Smetting Diesel left lane. Pasadena is home for the 3/4-ton Dodge. That thing did not qualify well on hit number 1. Burned it down on hit number 2. Now hit number 3. Let's see some consistency out of Joshua Grumman as he tries to become the 670 Diesel world champ. 670 dial, 682 even, 123 start. Larry Stewart out of Grenberg, Tennessee, went 663. He was under at 111 mile an hour. Chris Perales and Matthew Parker. Perales is a notorious hitter in this class. Parker trying to make a name. .330, there was a little hesitation for Matthew Parker. And the hesitation was well-founded. 677 with a 5 in the 670 class, where Chris Perales well off of the mark, although he had a stupendous start, had a lackluster finish for his final qualifying session. Sky Moorhead in our 670 diesel class. The half-ton Dodge with a single stack coming out of the back. Looks like he's going to wrap up our 670. Super Street Hot Rod Semi, you guys are coming up. You need to be loaded and ready to go. Going to get to you quick. Super Street is loaded under the tower. That means we should have our Hot Rod Semis back there. That was a little bit weird. Out there at 60 feet, he steered left for some reason. Not certain if that was steering wheel induced or drivetrain for Sky Moorhead. 705 with an 8 on the 670. So again, if you're 3, 4, 5 tenths off in the last qualifying session, you need to get your poop in a group and dialed in for that one last qualifier tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. 9 o'clock tech opens, 9:45 drivers meeting, 10 a.m. We start the World Championship chase in earnest. Rick Flettis and Blaine Lafferty will be coming up in this 590 class as we progressively step it up. Rick Flettis was on the line. Then he was pushed off. Brian Lafferty is going to let it eat on the 590 class, sponsored by Summit Racing. 6:05 at 3 at 117. That's getting it if you think about it in an eighth mile. That's picking him up, putting it down rather rapidly for the 1-ton Dodge. Abbreviated burnouts for both David Bosch and Zachary Storms. Fort McMurray is home for the left lane, which is sponsored by Smeding Diesel for the 98 Dodge half-ton. Zachary Storms from New Germany, Minnesota. His 2002 Duramax, the Jimmy, tonneau cover. LED light bar off the back. Trying to burn one down here in the 590s. $590 and Bosch went $579. Not too shabby. Neil Dreiger and Colt Carter have made their way out into the Smeding Diesel and Hot Shot Secret right lane. Ready for their last pass. Seminole, Texas is home for Dreiger. Mabank home for Carter. Purpose-built race rides in this 590 class. As we've got the slow lope of the Hot Rod Semi sitting underneath me. Actually, I wish you guys could hear that slow lope that I'm hearing right now. It sounds like my mother-in-law breathing when she gets up from the dinner table. Colt Carter goes $595 on the 90 Dow. Well done. Dreiger at $665 off. He'll try to come back around to that in that last qualifier tomorrow at 10 a.m. Last call, last call, last call. Pro Street, Pro Mod. Last call, last call, last call. Pro Street, Pro Mod. And the two trucks that have been leading us out all evening long here in the Hot Rod Semi class are once again going to lead us out in the last qualifying session. Both guys went over the current world record in Hot Rod Semi. Then did not come close enough in the 1% to back it up in second qualifier. So the last chance for Mario Monetti. He currently is the world record holder in mile per hour at 120. He went 120.1.15. Dave Stewart went 122.50. But if memory serves me correct, I think we saw this same sort of thing out of that full tilt Peterbilt down in Phoenix earlier this year. Bumped up over the number and then never could quite get back to it. Went 122 mile an hour on his first pass, then 118 on his second pass. So trying to put everything together here on these final qualifying session. A little bit of the heat has abated after Mr. Sun went down over the western horizon. Track crew says thumbs up, Buttercup. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Load 'em. Boom diggity. Hot rod semi last session. They're loaded. Lights are coming down. Major detonation for Mario Minetti. We heard that out of Gord Cooper a little while ago in Smoking Gun. The Beast has the same reaction on the detonation. Top side, neither guy close to it on the mile per hour. In fact, both guys well almost 10 seconds. 10 mile per hour, off of their prior numbers. However, Dave Stewart's ET was an 11:44 with an 8. Not too shabby. 11:44 with an 8 because the current world record is 11:40 with a 3. So Dave Stewart, if he can put it together, that dude could absolutely knock one out of the park this weekend. He could post the numbers that are good enough for both ends of the world record. In fact, 11.6 seemed to be the number that was tough to get around to get down to that 11.4 Gord Cooper posted prior in history, but 11.448. So Dave Stewart can go 122. He can go world record ET, but will he? Arnold Hernandez coming up from Tijuana, Mexico on the 76 Peterbilt 358. All right. This is the Dynamite Diesel Pro Street category with Philip Franklin running his Dodge up into the Hot Shot Secret right lane. And in Pro Street, the numbers in Pro Street. Foster Evans, 5.12 is the ET world record. Dustin Jackson, 144.5 mile per hour world record. Philip Franklin, he's had his name in the history books repeatedly at the NHRDA, trying to get his name solidly back into those world record categories. Philip Franklin. Opie. Folks rolling in. Loaded, spooling. Gonna let it rip. Let it eat, Franklin. Blew the tires off and got squirrely at 60 through 120 feet. That was a 60 foot of sideways snake for Philip Franklin. So 641 as he crossed the stripe, 109 coasting. So Philip, if he can get that thing to match the power to the ground, we should see some good numbers for Opie. And I believe we've got one more legitimate qualifying pass. Then we have a test and tune run, which will end our Friday at the NHRDA World Championship weekend. We'll be passing things over to the No Prep Top End Drag Race, so we'll be yapping at 9. Any of the NHRDA folks on property that want to go racing tonight, they will have a driver's meeting, and you can get your tech cards right here underneath the tower at 9. So just under an hour from now, if you want to participate in the Top End No Prep Racing, you can do that. Right now, the final hit of the night coming up, Wade Minter. In Pro Modified, the numbers are Wade Minter holding both ends of the world record, 4:32 elapsed time, 162.28 miles an hour, which was done just a few months ago down in Lufkin. And he's got a chance now. His first qualifying pass, the one qualifying pass of the night so far, he went 174.07 seconds. 174 mile per hour, 174.07. In the 63 split window Corvette. So if the tune is right, now will the track and the tires be able to hold the tune? So Wade Minter, they did not like where he had positioned himself up there on the start line, backed him off. Now the crew is trying to navigate him into the optimum spot in that hot shot secret right lane. Remember, he won 174.07 miles an hour just a couple of hours ago. Will the racetrack hold it? The 63 split window Corvette from Maypearl, Texas. Minter currently holds both ends of the world record, but you know he wants those big numbers. He wants to go viral. And click. Click. Boom. Pedal in at 60, got out of it 330, coasted to 660, still at a 586 with a 2 and 84 and a coast. So that is going to do it for round number 3 of qualifying. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll go into session number 4 and the final session of qualifying before we get into the elimination rounds at noon. We have one more test and tune pass to conclude the night before we pass it over to the no prep top end drag race. Get that one single hitter done, and then we can get right into changing over to the no prep top end racing. Nice numbers, 141.41 and a 981 with a 6 in the quarter mile. Just posted up our Hot Shot Secret right lane. So we're Hot Shot Secret and the NHRDA. My name's Scott. He's Randy. We're done for the night. We will be back here tomorrow morning.
Take care of your diesel engine. It'll return the favor. Add Hot Shot Secret to your fuel, to your oil, and boost power, performance, and fuel economy.
All right, attention in the pits.
Third-party testing.
9 p.m. drivers meeting here at the paint underneath the tower. Again, 9 p.m. drivers meeting. So get here, bring cash with you. We will have tech cards for you to sign. We'll do your class entry. We'll go over all the rules. So come prepared. We will do chip draw and go into first round immediately at 10 p.m. on the top end. So get your stuff ready. Get it turned around from the prep track to run some no prep this evening. And we'll see y'all at 9 p.m.
For the 6.6 liter Duramax. Our heads come pre-installed with fully nitrodated valves made of super alloy steel and upgraded tapered springs. Visit ppepower.com to learn more.
For over 20 years, Driven Diesel has been an innovator and market leader in the world of 7.3 and 6.0 fuel system products. We've been first to market with numerous product features and designs, and we've revised and expanded our product line to keep up with the ever-changing needs of diesel pickup owners. With our new in-house CNC capability and continued focus on U.S. production, product quality, and innovation, we are more focused than ever on developing unique solutions to modern diesel problems. Check us out at drivendiesel.com.
You work hard. So does your truck. Summit Racing has the parts, tools, and accessories like toolboxes, headache racks, fender flares, wheels, tires, and more to get the job done right. But we know what they say about all work and no play. That's why you'll also find what you need to take your truck from workhorse to weekend warrior. Plus, you'll get unbeatable customer service, tech advice, and same-day shipping. Order now at summitracing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
ARP, the ultimate fasteners for your diesel engine. From main studs to rod bolts to head studs, ARP outperforms and outlasts factory hardware. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
At Dynamite Diesel Products, we specialize in providing the fueling your truck needs. From high-performance race trucks to daily drivers, we strive to provide clean and smooth horsepower. We calibrate and balance injection rate to the tightest tolerances in the industry. Dynamite Diesel constantly upgrades machining and processes based off many years of experience to provide the best product possible. At Dynamite, fueling is our passion.
Smedding Diesel. It all started with a friendly rivalry and a lathe. Today we use the latest technology to produce the best high-performance diesel turbos in the industry. We're addicted to power and reliability. Smedding Diesel is dedicated to delivering maximum performance for your diesel engine. We take pride in meticulously engineering our parts and build our products from superior materials. Specializing in diesel turbos and components, we offer custom configurations for a wide variety of applications, all proudly built in the USA. With over a decade of experience, our reputation has been built on reliability, quality, and a true obsession with producing the finest products for both performance shops and enthusiasts. Smedding Diesel, the home of high-performance diesel turbos. Visit our website at www.smeddingdiesel.com.
Head to watchpttv.com, the new 100% free PowerTube TV streaming network. Home of the best classic and new motorsports racing and build shows on the web.
All right, attention in the pits. 9 p.m. drivers meeting here at the base of the tower. This is going to take place on the paint right here behind the burnout box. 9 p.m. So get your trucks turned around, get your no prep set up, get your cash, come by in during the drivers meeting if you want to race on the top end tonight. We will have a tech card for you to sign. We'll go over all the rules. It is going to be a